Call up me have the dreaming body. Me love the dollars and you 6 figure. Pussy not cheap. Pussy can't trip. Why you better walk with your check.
You know what always puzzle me? What always puzzle me is all these entertainers that, claim to have millions of dollars and all these things. When somebody like Medikk goes missing, and even the politicians, they drive the big fancy BMWs and Range Rovers and they live in their mansions and whatnot. And when a young lady like, say, Medikk goes missing, if it's even the part where her mom comes up with a reward money trying to find her daughter, and mommy put down $500,000. You trying to tell me that a fraternity of artists couldn't put together another $500,000 and make it a $1 million prize? I mean, honestly speaking, the more money that is out there, the more likely it is to find her, because truthfully, somebody knows what happened to Medikk. Somebody knows what happened to her. And I'm not talking about just the one person that did something to her. Somebody else knows. And people usually flip and tell when the money is enough. But right now, somebody has said, sure, 500 grand is a lot of money, but it's not enough for me to tell what I know. Make it $1 million, and we will talk, right? Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. Let's get right into this topic. So Medikk is still missing, okay? Let me go off of this article first, and then I will go off of my personal opinion or my commentary. So shout out to the Jamaica Observer. The latest news concerning Medikk is $500,000 reward for information leading to Medikk's return, says her mother. Millicent McCordy, that's Medikk's mom, the mother of missing entertainer Medikk, has put up a $500,000 reward for information that would lead to the return of her daughter, Stephanie Williams, who has been missing now for quite some time. I believe we're going into like week 2. Not believe, I know we're going into week 2. We're ending week 2, so we're probably pushing about 14 days or so since she has gone missing. Now, according to the police, 29-year-old Williams was last seen wearing a black blouse, black tights, and a pair of black shoes. She is of brown complexion. She is slim built with a very curvy body, and she is about 5 feet 7 inches tall. Anyone with information about her whereabouts is being urged to call 311 or call 119. Or just simply walk into a police station and say something. If the information leads to her safe return, they will have access to the reward. Well, at this point, they might want to reverbiage that, right? If the information leads to her safe return. What if somebody knows what happened to her and there is no way there will be a safe return and they know it? You see, at this point, right, if I was the mom or the family, I would be looking for closure. Of course, I wouldn't be giving up hope so quickly because that's my daughter, but I would still be looking for closure at this point. I would be more like saying $500,000 reward to any information leading to her whereabouts. That means if I find a body instead of a live person, then you still get the $500, the $500,000. But if you're going to word it and says the $500,000 is if it leads to her safe return, then whoever knows what happened to her, if something did happen to her, they're not going to tell you anything because that $500,000 is not going to be given to them. You understand? So, you don't really want to find her? Do y'all really want to find her? Because if it was my child, I would really want to find her. Just like how Donna Lee's mom, Donna Lee's story with Noel Maitland. Donna Lee's mom, at this point, she's asking for anything. If it's even a piece of her daughter's body. She's asking for something, right? So she can have some kind of closure. It's rough. It's rough when your loved one just disappears into thin air. There is no closure. Your mind is left stuck wondering all kinds of things. And as a parent, you're probably thinking the worst things in the world possible has happened to your loved one. You know? So at this point, I'm saying $500,000 out there. Come on, man. Dig deeper. Some big deep pocket politician, probably from the constituency of where she comes from or where she was raised or where her mom lives, the church where her mom belongs to, some deep pocket politician, like I said, or other entertainers from the entertainment fraternity put some money together and make the purse bigger. 1 million, 2 million. Right now we should be hearing about a $5 million prize for anybody who has information that will definitely lead us to her whereabouts, dead or alive. And I bet you would see something done. But then again, it seems like the music fraternity just turned their back. And I seen somebody left a message, a comment that said, well, maybe because she wasn't that famous, maybe because she wasn't like a Shensia or she wasn't a Spice, that, nobody really cares in the entertainment fraternity. But to be honest with you, what I realize in the entertainment fraternity is our entertainment fraternity is not as united as we might think it is. Remember, a lot of these guys that's in the entertainment fraternity, they've had beef for years. And they are just now getting around to the point where they get on stage and mention the other person's name and hail them up and big them up. Anything other than that, before that, it was war, right? And it looked like it was war that could have spilled out into the streets, into real war. So it's not like one big unified fraternity of reggae dancehall music, and when anything happens to anyone, they bond and unite together and make sure that things are handled properly. That's not the case. That's not the case. So I feel bad for Medikk's mom. I feel bad for her family, her siblings. This is not what you want, man, for your family member to go missing in this manner. Now, the police are saying, like the mom said, she said the police is not doing enough. She said the police is slow. Like one article, the police are saying that I must come to Kingston again. I must come as fast as I can. But she's saying, come there fast as I can for what? Y'all have no information about my daughter. Y'all not even looking in the right places. So what are you telling me I need to come fast for? They have all the information. The police are not working as fast as they should. One of the main things concerning Medikk is this, right? It was already put out there that she's a girl that loves her phone. And I mean, what 20-something-year-old female doesn't love her phone? Have you seen the average teenage to 20-something-year-old female today? I mean, they live on their phone. They go to sleep on their phone. They wake up on their phone. And this is exactly how Medikk was described by her mom. So, the first thing that I think the police should have done was go to the phone provider. I don't know if it's Digicel or Flow or whoever is her provider, like in the US here where we have all these phone companies. You go directly to that phone company, right? And you try to find that phone. Is the phone active? Is the phone being used now? Where is the phone? When last was the phone used? All this is information that could give them some lead that they can begin to go off of. And they haven't even done that yet. If they go to the main provider, they could probably be told, say, okay, the phone died. Last date the phone was used was the day she went missing, or the day after she went missing. The phone was picked up on the other side of Jamaica at some part in Clarendon or something. It would give the law enforcement officials who are supposedly investigating this a lead or something to go off of. But they haven't even done that. They have not even done that. So how much are they really trying to locate this young lady? Her phone is not giving out any signals. Why haven't they contacted the telecoms carrier, her mom said, especially with a crime like this? I know the carrier would want to assist them, but why is none of this happening? Man, crazy. Now, McCurdy, who is Medick's mom, said that she raised their daughters, 3 daughters, she raised them in the church, and she revealed that while growing up, that her daughter, who is Medikk, she actually wanted to be a nurse. She wanted to go into the medical field. Hence the reason why when she started doing music and entertainment, it was a play on the medic and medical field stuff that she actually came up with the name Medikk from, right? She said also that she had bad feelings about this. Some premonition that she had. She kept telling her daughter, like, you need to return to God. You need to go back to church, because she grew up in a church. And obviously her mom didn't like the secular music thing. She don't like the dancehall something. She don't like the skimpy outfits. She don't like the bodies getting done, plastic surgery and all that. Get your body done, get your titty done, get your face done, whole heap of makeup and all. She don't like any of it. So she was like, that environment is not godly, right? And she was trying to tell her daughter, like, I don't know, I just sense this piece of darkness over you, and like, return to God kind of thing. But you know how that go already. We have our parents will tell us that, but we not listen. We're not listening to that. We think we're young and we have to live with life, and alright, mommy man, easy no man. Yeah, mommy, pray for me, man, but me have to do what me have to do, and this is my life and I'm living it. I'm not hurting anybody, mommy, and trust me, I'm not hurting myself. But boy, sometimes parents have been here longer than us, the children, and they just see things and know things way ahead before the things happen. And we just don't see it, and we can't see it until we become a parent and we have children of our own. And then by the time we are explaining this to our children, is the same cycle all over again. They'll ignore us just like we ignored our parents before them. It's a crazy cycle, She said, I can tell you about hunger and separation. This is how she described when she was talking about her. She wasn't a loose woman. She didn't have 3 children by 3 different men. She didn't have a bunch of kids and no daddy around, because the man she chose was some hot guy who didn't want to be a daddy. That's a typical story with a lot of women. They chose a guy who they knew wasn't a daddy material, wasn't a father material, wasn't husband type of material. And then when he's not around for the children, she walk around and bawl. But Medick's mom is saying she wasn't that type. She had her husband. She had her man. He died. He died in an accident. And he died and left his children behind. And it was rough and tough for her. And she had to do all kinds of stuff. Work hard to give her daughters a decent life. She said, me take on all kind of job. Did everything I had to do to make sure that my daughters were raised a certain type of way. And I my biggest respects then to her for being that. And she didn't bring any men into her life around her daughters. So it's not like her daughters can say, yeah, me see mommy with whole heap of man and she used to switch out man regular after daddy dead, and me did have a stepfather and a this and a that. No, it was just her. She dedicated herself to raising Medikk and her sisters, and good vibes, that kind of stuff, with good principles and stuff. I keep on talking as her picture is being shown because I'm trying to humanize her. You see, as a culture, we have become so desensitized to murder, and so desensitized to people going missing, and so desensitized to the worst things happening, that when we put up videos and pictures and we say this young lady is missing, honestly, people just scroll right past it. Because if it isn't a more exhilarating story, the door get kicked off, 500 gunshot full up the room, everybody in there get peppered up and full of hole like strainer, throat get cut, this, that. If it's not like the most gruesomest details, people are really not interested. But what does that tell us about us? Because one time gone, this is the type of information that we didn't want. We didn't want to hear it, and we weren't keen on listening to it. But nowadays, if that ain't what the story says, nobody don't want to hear the story. That boring. Alright, she missing. Well, you know, people go missing every time, every day anyway. This is Jamaica, so what? Moving on to the next topic. Like that. And I'm trying to get people to humanize this young lady, and for those who might have seen something, to start to feel some level of remorse or some level of guilt, and come out and say something about this young lady, what you saw on her last day before she went missing. Right? So we continue to talk. She said that she warned her daughter. She warned her left, right, and center. For those of you who don't know what that means, it means she warned her constantly. You know, she warned her up and down. She warned her going and coming. She kept warning her, especially after she did the plastic surgeries to enhance her physical attributes so that she could compete with other women in the shallow world of entertainment. In other words, she got her body done. I don't know what she did. I don't know if she did breasts and butt and hips, which is typical what the young ladies do these days. Body and titty done. Some of them do like a face something too, right? And that wasn't pleasing to her mom. And her mom said after she did it, she wasn't pleased with it. She warned her even more. She says sometimes she upset me, you know, but I still push. I fight with them. She said her voice was breaking, man, in tears and anguish. The world needs to help me to look for this little girl. She didn't deserve this, her mother said. She wasn't the kind of person who was evil towards people. She didn't deserve this. Her mama said that she was supposed to, like, you know, she talked to her about everything. And one of the times she said to her, you know, you need to leave from around which part you're there. You need to left from out of there, so, right? Mom says I serve an awesome God, man. And I see where this has taken me and what God is doing in my life. Boy, when she said that, me, I said to myself, say, your child missing her, you can't find her. So, I hope God is going to help you to find her, because you're clinging on to faith. I said, Stephanie, go back to God, because I'm seeing danger in your life. That's what she said. She told her, go back to God because I am seeing danger in your life. She said this is also a warning for the other young ladies out there to heed the advice of their parents and to be careful of relationships that become possessive. Alright, so if she and her daughter talk all the time about everything, and then she's warning her daughter about relationships that become possessive, and now using this as an example to warn other young ladies about relationships that become possessive, what does that tell you? My listening audience, what does that tell you? That not tell you, say, our daughter probably told her that the guy that she was with was extremely possessive, and her mother tell her, say, you need to left out of there because, you know, that not going to end good. Even to the point where she started saying, I'm seeing like danger around your life. You need to turn yourself back over to God. Right now, Medikk's mom is saying that she's warning these young ladies out there. She's warning them. She's crying out to God also. She just need help from any corner and any angle that she can get some help from. Listen, $500,000. That's how much the reward is now for anybody that knows anything that could lead to them finding Medikk. $500,000. Get yourself $500,000 just like that. Call anonymously 113. Say something. Help this lady to get some kind of closure, my friend. Right? And sow some good seeds of karma as well. Everybody always look the other way until things like this hit their own doorstep, and then they want everybody to cry for them. But if you never cry for the people who were going through it when they were going through it, guess what? Ain't gonna be nobody around to cry for you, right? And again, to the entertainment fraternity, I would like to hear them and see them using their platform. I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, if that's the case, then them for use them platform for every person we go missing. I'm not saying that, and I know that that would be a lot of work. You would probably end up turning your whole platform into a missing persons platform, because it look like every day somebody is missing. But this is a young lady who, come on man, she did big songs. She worked with big artists like Javalani. She worked with big artists like Shano, who had one of the biggest songs last year and this year. So she wasn't that much unknown in the industry, according to what some people are saying. Maybe she wasn't big as Shensia, and maybe she wasn't big as Spice. But people in the entertainment industry knows her work, recognize her as who she is. Use on a platform and say something. Raise some awareness. And I heard one person saying, y'all sitting on social media making videos and posting pictures about Medikk. That's not going to find her. Only need to come off of social media and walk on the street and looking at places. Listen, that makes no sense, okay? Social media is global right now. And I told a story on Morning Thoughts, my morning show, of a young lady who comes from Jamaica, and she was kidnapped in Jamaica. Actually, she trusted a guy in Jamaica, and the guy ended up having her get into some kidnap situation. Long story short, she ended up in the US. She ended up in some of those countries outside of Jamaica, like South American countries. She ended up in Mexico. She ended up in many places. And then she found herself in Germany working in a whorehouse and addicted to drugs. All a part of the human trafficking ring. And she just kept getting sold to persons after persons after persons, till she ended up way in Europe, in Germany. So when we do videos and we circulate pictures, all of us can't get off social media and go walk the ground in Germany, walk the ground in Mexico, walk the ground in Trinidad and Tobago, walk the ground in Grenada, Guyana, throughout all the Caribbean islands. What if that is where she is? But what we do have is people that tune into these platforms from all these places. So then some of them might see her, recognize her, and say, oh my God, that's the girl that's wanted in Jamaica, that's missing in Jamaica. And then they make a phone call and bam, before you know it, she's back home with her family. Keep your fingers crossed. Stay hopeful. And there's more than one ways to skin a cat. There's more than one ways to get something done. We're just doing our part, right? All right. And if you see something, say something. Leave your comments in the comment section below. And I hope to God for real that she is found, and she is found alive and okay. But at this point, as time continues to roll, and we're now going 2 weeks plus, this is not looking good at all. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.